drew up a rough sketch. We built this for All right, today we're gonna build a custom vanity for my daughter's bedroom because, well, we ripped the one out of the house and it's sitting here waiting for trash day. So let's head on over to the shop and get to building. All right, so here is the plan. I drew up a rough sketch of what I'm thinking, but I really started thinking, let's make this interesting. I went to Lowe's to get lumber. I was gonna do cabinet grade plywood. But when I pulled up, I saw a car being loaded with crazy 2x4s, and I thought, been there, done that, and I am so thankful that I have a truck. So I started thinking, let's make this a fair game for everybody at home that may not have a vehicle but still wants to build something cool. So I think there should be 3 rules. 1, it's gotta fit in a vehicle. 2, it has to be real wood. And 3, it has to cost cheaper than buying some cheap fake wood type of one from the big box store. Yeah, that's the whole point. Do it yourself, don't pay for junk. All right, so what I ended up going with after looking for a pretty long time, I looked at everything, and I got this poplar board. It is a 1 by 12 by 4 foot long, and this is pretty decent wood. It's nothing over the top, but it'll do really well. It's perfectly straight, it's good, it's cut good. I think this will work out pretty dang good for the outside. And then for the inside, we're gonna use these project panels. They can be stained, painted, whatever. This is more for like a hobby person building a little table, some shelves, stuff like that, that isn't gonna be heavy duty. But good thing, this is gonna be on the inside. It doesn't really matter, and it fits in a car. So other than the wood, we're gonna use some wood filler, the Craig jig, the screws, some wood glue, and little odds and ends like that, stuff that you already got around. So this is the basic idea of what we're going for. That's what I'm hoping it'll look like on the outside, and this is what we're gonna try to do framing wise. All right, let's go ahead and start with one of the poplar boards. These things are expensive. These things are almost $40 a piece. We wanna make sure we cut them good. Don't wanna waste money. We're gonna do 31. All right, let's actually measure twice, cut once, you know? All right. What I probably should have done is put some tape on there because you get these rough edges. It'll be all right for now. Later, we'll tape it. All right, if you've been around, you know I need a new table saw. I ain't getting one just yet. So, come on now. I don't want to spend the money on it. So, we are going to strip some down. We need a 2-inch, a 4-inch, and a 6-inch, I believe. All right, I would definitely recommend a push stick, glasses, all that stuff. Don't do what I do. All right, so I got the 2-inch and 6-inch, so now we got to get a 4-inch. So here's the cutoff. Go ahead and get another one. Cut it 31 again. I obviously just lied to y'all. I said I was gonna put tape. I didn't. Maybe next time. All right, so we're working on this side. Just knock that one out. We're not gonna focus on this side over here, just here. We got the long sides, so now let's start working these. All right, we're gonna need to cut this board down to 18. I went ahead and marked right there. And what we're gonna do is take some painter's tape and right down the middle of that section, put some tape, flip it over. Throw a little there. Measure for the real cut. Now undo the tape, and that is a lot cleaner than it was before. You still get a little bit, but not near as much. Now we need 2 of these that are 2 inches wide. I don't know exactly where that's going. Here. Something like that for now. Now we need a 6 inch. So now we're gonna work on the middle section, and we have these cutoffs that we can use. Let's utilize the cutoffs. We know all of these need to be 10 inches, so we'll just cut this board all the way across. So now we need a 2 inch, and what I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to cut them all like this because this is the grain going like this. And if you're cutting small pieces and you have a bunch of end grain, it's gonna fall apart easier. So I'm trying to keep them all this way. A 4 inch. And now we need a 3 inch, which we might utilize this. Perfect. Which we know, 10 inch. That'd be here, somewhere in there, somewhere in there, something like that. On this part, we do know this is gonna line up the top. Mark that. We're gonna come down 6 inches. Mark that. Put this one here. Mark this side. Come down 6 inches. Mark that side. Mark right here. This should be 6 inches. And this goes here. And then we'll mark the same thing over here. The best way to do that is move these to the side, slide this all the way up flush, make sure it's good and flush, and then just transfer the lines over. Line up good. All right, so this is the top of it and this is the bottom. This is the part I love because it really starts to come together. We're gonna use our Craig jig, and the cool thing about this one is it actually comes apart. So if you slide it back, then you twist it, they'll come apart, which is cool. Slide it back, twist it, it'll come apart. Then you can actually hook them together, slip it through, line them up, go forward, and now it's 2 of them closer. I really love that. So knowing that this is gonna be the front facing side on the outside, we're gonna flip this over and we're going to use the pocket hole jig, and we're going to make sure we set it to 3/4. And then we're gonna slide it over the top. Make sure to clamp this down good. And then drill the holes. And then if you remember, we're gonna use this drill bit that is meant for this. It'll pre-drill the hole, and you can set it to different depths. We have it on the 3/4 setting. Let's go ahead and do both of these. As you can tell, looks good. Flip it over this way, do the same thing. Everything looks good there, so that'll go back there. We're gonna do the same thing on all of these. All right, guys, before we move on, let's go ahead and clean this up so we have a good, clean workspace. All right, it's looking good, but I don't want to work on the floor. This is kind of hard to work on and film. I need a table. Oh, good thing we got camping gear. All right, this is not the best table, but maybe we can get this to work. So the goal now is to hook all this together. So what we're gonna do is use some wood glue, and then we're gonna use the screws that come with this. It is 1 1/4 inch screws, because if you look on the back, it'll tell you it's for 3/4 lumber. This is 3/4. Let's put together. So I think the simplest solution here is, let's not work with this one yet. Let's put this piece right here together. So technically, this is gonna flip this way, and that way. Let's get on this flat part, go here and here, here. I think that'll be good to go. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to keep this very much where it needs to be. You don't want it sliding around. You want it to be perfect, flush everywhere. So what I'm gonna do is put some glue. We don't need a whole lot. This end grain's kind of weird anyways when you glue it. You could either set it down the best you can on your table and push down and try to make it flush, or we're gonna use this because we wanna make sure the other side is the best way possible. Get them as close as we can how we want it, and then clamp them together. Go ahead and get them how we want. And with it glued, everything's good there, here. Get it the absolute best you can. We're gonna go in from this side, right into that hole. Just do it slow so it goes in good. There you go, locked. So we should be able to take this off and it should be really good. All right, that is awesome. I don't know how well you guys could see that, but that came out great. You can also do this on the side of the table if you wanted. I'm trying to just show you guys good on camera. All right, twist that just a hair where we want it. Looking good. Now we'll do the same thing over here. All right, if all goes well, should look good on the other side. All right, smooth, smooth, smooth and smooth. Everything looking pretty good. We need our board like this. So obviously, again, go this way. All right, hook it on like that. So obviously, let's do this side. Oh, I really hope this is all together the way it's supposed to be. But as of right now, that is just one big, solid piece. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to take a little lunch break. I was gonna cool off. It has been hot in here, but brought in the big guns.
Let's go.
Hey, Reagan's asleep. We got the baby monitor going.
That means I can help.
Let's get this done. All right, so you guys saw before I got this all done up. We are gonna build the back side of this. So we need to rip those big panels down and then hook it on the back. It's gonna be a lot easier with an extra set of hands. All right, so these panels come in plastic because obviously if you're making crafts and stuff, you don't want them to get all messed up. All right, so you may be able to see somewhat. A lot of these panels, they're just long strips of wood glued together. Down here, you could probably tell a little bit better right here that there's different sections and it's glued together. That's why it's fairly cheap. Actually, this was almost $50. So it's actually not that cheap. So we're gonna rip it and then cut it down to size, build the back. Again, the whole thing is to show people they can do this with lumber from the car. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and cut our length first. So, 31, 31.
For all the line skis?
Yes, ma'am. If you guys watch our videos, I use this on the driveway and cut asphalt.
Will it work?
So it'll cut. How well will it cut? All right, so now we need another one because these are gonna be the sides and then we're gonna build the bottom to it. So technically, the part we just cut can be on top because it's just gonna be a countertop on there. So I guess if you'll hold that, this will be the front. That's gonna hook on the front there. And then this one is gonna go on like that. So what we're gonna do on the inside here is pocket holes again and hook it to that. So we're gonna do the pocket holes over here. It is still set to 3/4. We're gonna button this up and we gotta keep it as nice and clean as possible. That's where we're gonna want it. So, go ahead and throw wood glue. Don't really need a whole lot. These screws are pretty good, but this will definitely help. I'm gonna make sure that the outer sides are really nice and flush. And then now, do the bottom. Don't work your way down, get the bottom. Make sure it's flush really well. All right, now this one, obviously this is gonna be the inside. As you guys can see from this shot, we're gonna make sure we keep it nice and flush. So Danielle, this is where an extra set of hands 100% comes in handy. I'm gonna do the very bottom. So, it's looking like it, but it needs a bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure, don't come and measure the back right here, measure the front right here to right here, and you know that's gonna be good. So when you cut that length, this part can bow out or come in and it'll be perfectly square. And, all right, so at this point, we're gonna take this off so we can use the table as a workbench. You got that, girl? Just wherever. Those screws really hold this in nice. And then now we're gonna use this other piece. Should fit. There you go. The reason I'm doing this to where it's not the whole bottom, I don't want to see this board from the front. Let's put an X here, pocket hole, and then everything else. You know what? Just pocket hole the whole thing. We're getting there.
Getting there.
But I know some people are like, if this is the bottom, you're gonna see on the inside, why would you do that? That's what these guys are for. All right, so these, you're gonna end up putting down in the hole like that. Just kinda put some wood glue down in there. And then when you slide these in, it's going to cover that hole. That in there. We're gonna let these dry, then we'll come back later, we'll sand them down, it'll look really good. Technically, we can come in and do all of these, but you'll literally never see them. I would if there was anything on the front or anything showing, but you won't see it in here Literally, we'll come sand these down later. So the part we just trimmed off is actually right here. So technically, it's the same as that. We don't really need it on the bottom. I want to strengthen the top. So we're gonna end up getting wood glue and then hooking it in here. That way our countertop has something to sit on the back. All this, normally you'd put a sheet over. We're not, because our plumbing, everything's already in there. We're just gonna paint the drywall. It's gonna make it very simple, but this will strengthen the back drastically. So we know that board's gonna go right here, and it's only gonna come down a little bit. We're gonna take this countersink drill bit so the board doesn't crack, and we're gonna go ahead and do it here. All right, so we're gonna want, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and put glue on both sides first. Let's make this flush. We're just gonna use the same screws just because it's what we have right now, but you could do pretty much whatever you want. It should not crack this board, and it should countersink it. We got it pretty flush. There we go. And then do this one. All right, there you go. And that made it drastically stronger. Of course, the table's not strong, but this is. So now that this is done up, this part, we're gonna go ahead and take it inside, throw it in that spot, make sure 100% that we have it where we want against the wall. I do think I messed up a little bit, or got to add a little piece, but we need to see how far we're gonna go this other direction. Let's take it inside. We'll see you in there. And we will build a base on the bottom. We're just trying to make sure everything's good here. See how it's not even touching? All right, I don't know how well we can describe this, but hopefully you guys can see the drywall down here is not straight. It actually bows out like this because they redid the piping, and that's the issue we're gonna have here. All right, so bought a 50-year-old house. It's part of the problem. Nothing ever goes easy. The good thing is we're gonna lift it 3 inches because you want a kick plate underneath. So I think I need to go cut some boards. Let's see if that will help and be able to push it back. We just won't put a board on the very back.
Yeah,
and maybe
more bowed at the bottom.
Correct. So maybe that'll work. If that doesn't work, we may have to cut the drywall to fit the bottom.
Yeah.
It'll be good, which it does not look like that's helping much. All right, after a lot of thinking, I think I finally figured out what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and build the frame for the bottom to get it up off the ground. It'll make sense here in a second. Okay, so this will be my 3rd board I'm using. This is the one I just stripped, and we need 2 of them that are 17. And then this will go on the bottom. I went ahead and put pocket holes in the screws ready for it. I put marks, so as long as we put it on the 3-inch mark and line it up at the edge, we should be good to go. Up under there, like that. Now we have that gap for your toes. All right, now we're on to our 4th board. All right, so now everything is gonna be like that, like this. We're gonna do pocket holes and hook it together. So now I just went ahead and cut the same type of board I put on the bottom there, and we're gonna put it on the bottom of this part, glue it on, and I put pocket hole jig. All right, so this part will go here, hook it on, and see how that is floating down there. I gotta make the same feet like I did over there, and then we'll build this section out right here. And I also apologize if I'm not explaining too much right now. I'm not feeling great. Stomach bug, something. I'm not really sure. Just trying to get this done. All right. And then now, we'll hook it to that. So now I'm taking the last piece of the project board. I put pocket hole jigs, and now we're just gonna glue and screw it. So that's gonna get us some good solid holds, and it doesn't matter that it's hollow, you'll never see it. I got another piece of this that was left over, and I cut it that fits right here in the gap between these. And what I'm gonna do is I put pocket hole jigs in it, and I'm going to put it back here. And one, this is gonna look like the baseboard, and two, it'll keep it squared. So now one thing, I'm on my 5th board, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a board back there, but I don't know if you guys can tell, this is cupped. I guess just sitting here overnight, well, over the weekend, because I spent the weekend thinking about it, I think it cupped. And let's see. Yeah, it's kind of bad, so I can't use it for anything I need straight. So I'm gonna stick it on the back, and all that's gonna be is literally hidden. You won't even see it, but we'll hook the rails on for our drawers. So this actually makes me happy that we're not wasting $40 on a cupped board. So I just put it back here against the wall, and it's not done yet, but I could see Reagan here one day getting ready, getting all glammed up for her first school dance or daddy-daughter dance or big fun event with their friends. Who knows? Maybe even friends and family spending the night, staying over, having fun, and then they have their own vanity to get ready at. That's what makes this awesome. I built something that people could use in my own home, hopefully for the rest of my life. Went and picked up more lumber, as you guys can tell. Even got some smaller pieces here. You guys will see what we're doing later. All of this fit inside a vehicle like we have to, and then we mocked up a vanity on top, looking good. Let's go ahead and start building cabinets. We'll get it sanded, and I think I might have some help again here in a minute. All right, we're gonna start here on these drawers, and I bought boards that were already perfectly sized for that. You don't want to fill up the whole thing because then it's not going to slide very well. And I knew these were 6 inches. These boards would be 5.5. That's why I built them that way. And so we're just going to cut these down to size and build some easy drawers. No dovetail, no any crazy type of cuts. Just easy peasy. Let's get this done. Lemon squeezy. All right. We are going to do these 18 inches. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and mark both sides. And then now this extra cutoff, we're going to do 8 1/4. Now we're gonna get an extra board and go ahead and cut 8 1/4 off of this one. And we picked up one sheet, 2x4 of 1/2 inch plywood. We're gonna rip it down for the bottom of the drawers. So this should be fairly simple here. We're gonna grab one of these. We're gonna get the better side and put it up. Then these go like that. That, and like that. All right, it'd just be a lot easier if I had some help to hold this down. Oh!
Okay.
Reagan's asleep.
Yes.
Baby's asleep. Let's build some drawers. Then we're gonna pop it down here in the plywood. All right, so just a quick test fit. It's gonna be a little windy, got the door open. Fit in there, slide in, be good. We'll put a face on it whenever it's flush. Slide out. All right, we're gonna start working on this part, and we're thinking the easiest solution, pocket hole jigs in this board that we had extra, and we're going to just line it up back here and then pocket hole it down here in the bottom. All right, I think that'll be strong enough. All right, so we got a bunch of the extra pieces. Danielle just had to go back. Reagan already woke up, but that's how it goes. We are going to take the wider one that we cut, and then we are gonna glue these pieces on. And I'm really hoping these nails are long enough. It is, perfect. So now we have an L shape. You guys will see what we're gonna do with that once I finish these. All right, I don't know how well I'll be able to show you guys, but I'm gonna try my best. I put pocket hole jigs in the bottom of these, and I already measured the same height. So we're going to try to put them over there where they need to be. Again, it's gonna be a little difficult to show you guys this. Okay, so you can tell I went ahead and built them all. They all function very well. I pull them out, but there's no front plate with the handles or anything. But as you guys can tell, if you pull it out, it's gonna wanna hang like that. I don't think I really want drawers to hang. I think I have a solution. I think what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of extra wood here, and I'm gonna put it right down the middle. This is gonna be a very tight fit to the top or to the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. Right there. And then we need to make sure it's going down far enough there. Pretty much there. So if that was nailed on and you're going to open your drawer and it's going to start wanting to hang, it's going to hit that and hold it from hanging. I think I like that. I think that'll work really well to not have that sag. All right, so I got them all in there good. Look at that, bare minimum sag. How freaking cool is that? I wanted to do this old school. This is a 50-year-old house we're building this for. And so if I could revert back to old school skills like this, rather than buying the new metal slides that are perfect and you can slam them and they'll go real slow and close. This is old school, baby. This is old school, and we'll get in there and we'll wax up the wood and everything so it slides really smooth. This is what I love to do, stuff like this, because one, it's for my daughter, and two, I like to show off that I know a little bit of skills. I'm not perfect, but I know how to do it. And three, 50-year-old house, let's do some old school building. All right, so it's really getting there. I'm very happy with it. This is the part that I'm very excited for because it's really gonna bring it together, but I'm also freaking terrified because if I mess up on these, it's a lot of money wasted, and I wanna get it perfect, and I want all this to line up perfect and look as professional as possible. It's the whole point of not buying it, is to build it for cheaper, but also to hopefully look as good, if not better. Let's cut these boards down, let's make the faces, and fingers crossed it all goes well. All right, we're gonna rip this down to 9 3/4. This is the part where we're gonna start trying to make this look a little better than just a flat piece of wood. I bought these little thin sections. What are these? Little 1/4 inch, and I cut it down to size here. We're not gonna be doing any crazy cuts. We're just going to make it fit like that, and I cut it a hair long so I could sand it nice and smooth, and we're gonna glue that on there. And this is where you really want that glue on all of it. Cover the entire board. Who cares if it squeezes out? You want this thing completely covered. Put it where you want it. Just like that, and either you can clamp it if you have enough clamps. I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a nail through there, a little brad nail. Same thing over here. And then now that those are in there and they're not moving, we're gonna try to get the tightest fit we could possibly get. That's in there nice and good. Same thing over here. Alright, we're gonna let that dry up, sand it down, but that's gonna look insanely better than just a flat piece. So I ended up putting wood filler on everything. I let it dry. Let's get this sanded down so we can prime it and paint it. All right, so I'm gonna have Jared, South Texas Roots, help me out here. Try to knock it out fast so we can get this moving. Yeah, we'll hit this, see how it's like a little bit. Try to smooth that out. All right, that's smooth. It's looking good. But it can look a little better, so we're gonna hit it with this really small, fine grit and go in and hit that, and then we gotta do all the cabinet doors. But I think it's gonna look good.
We'll see.
For little Reggie.
Can't really feel anything on there.
I was gonna say, it's pretty dang smooth.
Better smooth that a bit.
I'm very shocked at how good that came out. It looks like one solid piece.
Yeah.
All right, got everything sanded up nice and smooth. Thanks to my brother, Jared from South Texas Roots. Go check him out, say thank you. He's up here helping us with a bunch of stuff right now. But this is where I'm scared to do this. We need to put the front hooked on, and I do not want to do it in the wrong place and mess up. I'm a little terrified. So I think what I'm gonna do is start here in the middle and then on the top and try to line it up the best I can, hook it on and work my way down, and then match these on the sides to this one. It's gonna be very difficult to get this correct, 100% correct. I don't know how else to do this to make it perfectly in line, so I'm gonna put this board and put this up next to it. Since it's flush with this and then flush with the line down here, I think that's exactly where we want it. And since that's good, I'm gonna try to come in here and do 2 nails just to hold it in place. And I'm gonna try to do it a little bit of angle because that nail's pretty long. It didn't come out the front, so we're good. All right, so I think that should hold it for now. So hopefully when I take this out, it'll stay up. Then I can just wedge them. Good so far. I don't know if I should take the risk. I don't wanna, actually I just need to leave it in place. Let's be real here. I'm gonna use one of the pieces we did for the trim, and hopefully that'll be the gap we need. Probably not, but that would be amazing if it was. could potentially be good. All right, and obviously, I can't know from the inside because this is in there. So, I think I might have to pop holes in this way. It's not what I wanted to do, but. Step back, see what that looks like. Think about it like that. That looks pretty good under there. I think that could do. We'll go under like that. Got them all screwed on. I am pretty happy with that. Of course, I still got to put handles, but it can come all the way out. Slide back in, looking good. Looking good. Obviously, we'll need door handles, and because this is the one bad thing, which this is just the way it goes, when you don't have real slides and keep them perfectly in line, say if someone goes in there, goes to the bathroom, and they got this one pushed that way, they're gonna look off a little bit. You kind of just have to, when you put them in, just make it look right, you know what I mean? Line them up. This one, of course, doesn't come off screwed in. And then these, like I said, we got the hinges, and then we'll hook them on under there. Now, finally, at the point, we need to prime everything, paint, and then I think we're gonna stain everything on the inside here, plus all of this, and then everything else will be painted. I think it's gonna look good. All right. Let's go ahead and prime this sucker up. It's fairly basic, just do the front, a little bit on the insides. We'll do in here, just whatever you're gonna be able to see. Everything else on the inside, gonna be wood. Since that's all done, we're good. We need to come in and paint just the outsides, leave all this. I'm gonna come in, get all this the best I can, and then we'll roll it on. All right, we'll smooth that out a little bit, let it dry once we do the other ones. And then paint. All right, this has had a long time to dry, about 12 hours. Technically it dries in 30 minutes, recoat in 1 hour. I'm gonna do a very, very light sand, anything, maybe dust or whatever. We're gonna knock that off. So, as most of you have seen from the thumbnail, we went with a rust looking pink color because this is going in my daughter's room. And then also we think it'll be a good pop of color to give us something different in the house. So hopefully this looks good. Where do I start? Where do I start? I think it's gonna look pretty good. All right, so this is the first coat. So it doesn't need a whole lot, but you definitely want to make sure you're not getting those brush strokes. So get a roller and roll it out, and it's going to look 10 times better. Okay, just wrapped it all up. I'm gonna let it dry for a while. I need to see what the cure time and dry time before recoating is. First coat went on awesome. I've done this 3 different times already. This is my 4th time, I believe. 1, 2, maybe this is my 3rd time. And I am so excited for this. I think the next coat and possibly even another coat will make it look super, super awesome. Days later, we let it dry. I put handles on. I actually put a countertop on it to see what it looked like. You ready to see yours? Your vanity? She just woke up.
Yeah.
Just woke up. All right, guys, here is the big reveal. Boomage. So, I'm happy with it, but I'm not happy with it. Anything I do, I never fully like. You came in and was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I think it looks great. One, I love the color we picked out.
Yeah.
Two, it looks so good.
Yeah, I was kind of saying earlier to her, I was like, I don't know, I don't like it. There's something about it. She came in, I was putting the top on, she's like, that looks way better than I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anything I do, it's hard to really say that I truly like. There's things that could have been better, but I do think this is gonna look really freaking cool in her bathroom. And why is that countertop, the old countertop on there?
We're gonna use it.
I was against it. You love this.
Show. But more so, like, let's reuse what we have.
We are doing a budget build.
In a budget build. You can't beat that.
So, the whole point of this was to build a vanity that you could put lumber in your car for less than you would buy at Lowe's. Last time we were at Lowe's, we looked, it was $1,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We built this for $625. So still more money, but we saved almost half our budget on that, and we're saving money on this. We are going to redo it. It is not going to look like that. That'll be a video to come. And we are also in the process of redoing her entire room.
Yeah.
So we are doing everything. If you're excited for this and what it looked like, get ready for Reggie's entire bathroom.